What's up, North Raleigh Bourbon Club and all my bourbon bros out there? Hey, we have something really special for you guys today. We're going to do the full review of the Blantons lineup. So we have the regular, the gold, straight from the barrel, the red label, the black, and the green. But hey, before we dive into the review, let's do a little bit of history on the Blantons here. So, as everyone knows, Blantons is a single barrel bourbon that's bottled at 93 proof. It's aged for approximately 6 to 8 years, and it uses Buffalo Trace's mash bill number 2, which is their high rye mash bill. Blanton came on the scene in 1984, and it was the first single barrel sold commercially. So Blanton's was named after the famous Colonel Albert B. Blanton, who began working for Old Fire Copper, or OFC, distillery in 1987. Of course, OFC turned into Buffalo Trace Distillery in 1999. Blanton started with the company when he was only 16 years old, and he retired in 1952 after doing every job possible for the distillery. While Blanton's was the distillery president, he hired the again world-famous Elmer T. Lee. So, in 1984, the year before Elmer T. Lee retired, he was asked to create a brand new bourbon, and he remembered back to when Blanton would host special events at the distillery. Blanton would bottle a hand-picked barrel of his favorite spot in Warehouse H. So, what's special about Warehouse H? Let's get right into that. Warehouse H is a one-of-a-kind metal-clad warehouse that exclusively barrels Blanton's bourbon. Warehouse H dates back to 1934 when it was constructed after Prohibition. This warehouse was built from metal instead of traditional wood and brick, increasing temperature inside and speeding up the interaction between the whiskey and the wood. Since bourbon stored inside warehouses is impacted by changing temperatures, Warehouse H is closely monitored by the team inside, and they strive to keep the area at 45 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. To do this, the warehouse windows are open and closed during the hot and cold season so that each bottle of Blanton stays cool enough throughout its aging process to present that smooth taste. So let's get into a little background of all these bourbons here. So the first version is, of course, their traditional Blanton single barrel. It's bottled at 93 proof, and it's sold in the United States. The second version created in the lineup is the Blanton's Gold. This one comes in at 103 proof and is sold mostly in Europe. The bottle, as you notice, is a little different. It's only 700 milliliters compared to the traditional 750 milliliters that you see from the bottles in the United States. But don't get too nervous about these, because they're actually releasing in the United States. In 2020, they're actually doing an annual release, so you guys can pick these up, hopefully, if you can find them. The third version that was released is the Blanton straight from the barrel. Obviously, all of them have different proofs. The one we're going to do today is 123.3 proof. So Blanton's straight from the barrel is also bottled at 700 milliliters. This one, it was sold exclusively overseas. However, again, starting in 2020, they're starting to do yearly releases in the United States. So next up is the Blanton's Takare Red Single Barrel Bourbon, a Japanese-only release. In Japanese, Takare means treasure. So consider this the Blanton's Red Treasure Single Barrel Bourbon. From what I can tell, the main difference to differentiate this from the regular Blantons is the red ink on the label, and the inclusion of a bag and a red box. It also has Japanese writing on the top. So, Blanton Single Barrel, Blanton's Red Single Barrel Bourbon is aged at 8 years instead of the normal Blantons in the United States, which is a 6-year-old. But both share the same 93 proof. So maybe the treasure comes in the form of 2 extra years aged. I don't know. The final two are the Black Label, which comes in at 80 proof and is a Japanese exclusive release. This is also bottled at an 8-year expression, and believe it or not, it's one of the rarest bourbon whiskeys in the world. And then lastly, we have the Green Special Reserve label, bottled at 80 proof. This bottle is export only, usually found in Europe and Australia. And again, this comes in at this 700 milliliters as well. So, all right, guys, a little bit of history on that. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, please like and subscribe. Go follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. We're about to do it, so you'll see that in the next video. But I wanted to do this just so you guys, if you see these popping up, you're seeing them come in at secondary, and you're not sure if you really want to pay the money or not. Hopefully this review will give you guys a little bit of some advice. Hey, also, go follow Tar Heel Bourbon on Instagram. He was cool enough to provide these for us tonight to do the review, so I really appreciate that. And as our club member Brent says in my new slogan, bourbon looks great on the shelf, but it tastes even better in your glass. Cheers, guys.